Welcome to Focus on Faith, the program that brings you portraits of faith from across the nation. Join us as we bring you the faith of men and women from all walks of life who truly represent the spirit of America as we focus on faith.
Greetings and welcome to Focus on Faith. I'm Cindy Anderson, bringing you a worldwide fellowship of Christians in action. Kathie Lee Gifford is a well-known American celebrity, a playwright, producer, singer, songwriter, author, and actress. She has starred in numerous television programs and movies in her 45-year career. She's a 4-time Emmy Award winner and an 11-time Emmy nominee, and she's best known for her 15-year run on the talk show Live with Regis and Kathie Lee, and also for her 11-year run on the 4th hour of NBC's Today Show. Most recently, Kathie Lee has pursued a movie career, both as an actress and as a director and producer. In 2018, she co-starred in Then Came You, and that same year, she starred in a Hallmark Christmas movie called A God Wink Christmas. In 2015, she was inducted into the Broadcast and Cable Hall of Fame, and recently has been chosen to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame this year in 2021. We caught up with Kathie Lee in her New York City apartment in the 1980s during her tenure with the show Regis and Kathie Lee. She spoke to us about her career, her faith, her love, marriage, her children, and her fellowship with God. We get started with her testimony about her faith in God and her prayers for wisdom in her daily life. Take a listen.
I am not on Live with Regis and Kathie Lee to proselytize my own faith. I'm hired to be an entertainer. But I can't help being who I am. And there are times when it's very obvious that my faith is the overriding aspect of my life. I'm not ashamed of that. I've never been ashamed of the gospel of Jesus. Pray to God that I never will be. But I don't want to hurt anybody, just to have a humorous moment. I don't like laughter at other people's expense. It happens sometimes, and I always feel badly about that. But I know my own heart, which is never to offend or hurt or damage anyone. You know, I have that inner voice, that conscience that's constantly saying, you know, that was a cheap laugh, Kathie. You don't need to do that.
In 1986, Kathie Lee married Frank Gifford, an American football player and television sports commentator. They had 2 children together, daughter Kathie and son Cody. And in this next clip, she shares her feelings about marriage and motherhood. Here's Kathie Lee.
Well, they're just the greatest joy I've ever known. It started with Frank. I had been through a very unhappy marriage in the past, and to finally truly find love and in every aspect was just the beginning of a tremendous healing in my life, emotionally, spiritually, in every way. And then to have the fruit of 2 beautiful children from that love, it's almost like, oh Lord, I'm blessed beyond belief.
What a testimony about the blessings of love, motherhood, and a renewed spirit. You may know, in 2015, after nearly 30 years of marriage, Kathie Lee's husband, Frank Gifford, passed away. He was 84. Kathie Lee intends to make movies about the experience of losing a loved one and of being a widow, which she considers an underrepresented topic in Hollywood. Next, Kathie Lee shared how God works in her everyday life and what her personal walk with God is all about. She also talked about how God is always there and how He works in us even in our darkest times. Take a listen.
His steadfastness. There's also a scripture, I believe it's in Lamentations, that says that His mercy is fresh every day. Even when you blow it royally and you've screwed up with your kids and you've messed up on the job and you've said something that hurt somebody and your husband's mad at you and you burnt the steak. The Lord's mercy is fresh every morning. There is a second chance a third chance, a fourth chance, a fifth. Every day of our life is another chance. And I'm so grateful for that, because I have had it many times in my life where I have moved away from the Lord. It's like the couple that are madly in love. You've probably heard the allegory. You've heard the story. Madly in love, and they just cuddle everywhere, and they're driving along. And after a few years, more and more, the wife is closer to the passenger window. The wife says to him, we don't cuddle anymore. We're not close. We don't have that intimacy we once had. And the husband says, well, you moved. I'm still here. I'm still driving. I'm exactly where I was. And you're over there by the window, and you wonder why we're not intimate. You wonder why there's no closeness. And that's the way it is, I think, with the Lord. I mean, we're the ones who move further away from Him all the time, and we wonder why things aren't good in our life. And we have to get closer to Him. Well, I believe faith is a gift from God, and it's something that we need to pray for. I believe it's a fruit of the Spirit in our lives. I have a childlike faith, and people confuse that with a childish faith. No, I'm a bright woman, and I'm a questioning person, and I'm not one of these people that you can pull the wool over my eyes. You may be able to do it once, but you can't do it twice. My dad used to say, oh, honey, it's not a sin to make a mistake. It's just a sin to make the same mistake twice. So I think faith is something that you have to ask more of every day. I know that I have to. I find myself asking more and more for the very thing that Solomon asked for, more wisdom. Confusing world, it's a complicated world, it's a difficult world, and I don't have the tools to find my way through. Every day I ask the Lord for more wisdom. Wisdom how to raise good, God-fearing, loving children, compassionate children. Wisdom on what magazine covers to shoot and what to say in an interview. And wisdom for every aspect of life, because it's not an automatic thing. And don't fight Him. He wants to bring you back. He wants that intimacy with you. He wants the closeness, the fellowship. As brokenhearted as you may be, the Lord is more brokenhearted to not have fellowship with you, and to trust Him again in your life. He can make something beautiful out of the ashes of your life. There's no question in my mind or my heart that He can do that and wants to. And that He can even use that time in your life as a great testimony and a great witness. I once thought, how we waste so much in this life. When I see wasted food at a restaurant or in our home, I always feel badly knowing that so many people are truly starving in this world, not just overseas, but in our own country. And the Lord once said to me, Kathie, there are no crumbs on my table. He will use everything in your life, everything to glorify Him if you'll let Him, even the worst part.
There are no crumbs on my table. What a powerful message for all of us. Now, as you may know, Kathie Lee has her own record label and has written and recorded several albums. At the end of our time with her, she surprised and blessed the Focus on Faith team with a song she wrote about her children. Sit back for a moment and enjoy this very personal performance.
The best gift that I ever got didn't really weigh a lot. It didn't have a ribbon round, and it sometimes made a terrible sound. But best of all, it seems to me, it wasn't neath the Christmas tree. And yet I guess I'd have to say that it made all the other presents twice as gay. The best gift that I've ever known, I've always wanted most to own. Yet in my dreams of sugar and spice. I never dreamed it could be so nice. The best gift that I'll ever get was sometimes dry and sometimes wet, was usually pink but oftentimes red, as it lay so innocently in its bed. The best gift of the year to me, the one I hold most dear to me, the gift that simply drove me wild, was a tiny newborn child.
Now, since our visit, literally multitudes of people, young and old, have seen this timeless testimony through public service programming and cable networks. And now it is available through Tele-Missions International's new Life's Lighthouse series of programs. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this series, then please leave a thumbs up, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. And share these timeless testimonies with your friends and family, and check out the entire series of Focus on Faith by clicking the link below. Thanks for watching.
That God is faithful to bring you through it, and don't fight Him. He wants to bring you back. He wants that intimacy with you. He wants the closeness, the fellowship. As brokenhearted as you may be, the Lord is more brokenhearted to not have fellowship with you, and to trust Him again in your life. He can make something beautiful out of the ashes of your life.